what's the scariest moment you went through in your life?
Maybe when you were going to put the inflatable boat in the ocean without knowing how to swim. Maybe when you were running from a border control that were out. I think after that, you process that, the rest goes easier. You get less tougher.
Now, Francis, you're in another huge fight. When you made the decision to put MMA on hold and cross over to boxing, did you truly believe that you could get not only one of the biggest heavyweights in the world, but two? Was this something that you thought was 100% going to happen?
I don't think anything will 100% going to happen. I don't think anything is guaranteed in life, but I think everything is possible. So yes, I do think that it could happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't let my career in the UFC as a champion to take this route if I wasn't certain that it's going to happen.
And it was, I guess, an unprecedented move. Not many people in the MMA space as champion would ever leave the UFC, but you did. And when you did, there was a lot of critics, there were a lot of naysayers, but you remained true to yourself and you remained confident. Now it has, in many regards, paid off. What kind of satisfaction do you get from yourself when you sort of look back at that decision you made?
People always feel uncomfortable to leave their comfort zone. And then when they see somebody do what they are afraid of doing, what they can't do, what they don't have courage to do, they project that fear into that person in terms of like failure. Not because they know anything. Nobody knows nothing about the future. Nobody knows nothing about himself. And most of the time, some of those people haven't even done anything in their own life. But they seems to give advice to you to what to do to get even better, even though you are a champ, even though you are in the peak of your game, and they want to give you advice. They know nothing. You know, I think at the end of the day, what matters is you having your dream, standing up for yourself, chase your dream, enjoy the process, and then the outcome is just extra, because you can do things right and then have a wrong result. You know, result itself doesn't stand like a testimony for the step or the procedure that we have done. You know, so yeah.
And at the time when you decided to make the move, there was a lot of talk about a John Jones fight, potentially 10 million. Did it feel like a big risk to turn down the 10 million and bank on yourself?
Life is a risk. I have risked more in my life than 10 million. I have risked my life. So I think my life really worth more than 10 million. So I have risked a lot to be here, and so many times I have make a lot of choice in my life that put a lot of things at risk to get here. So there is a quote in our country who says, in French, who says, you can make egg you can make omelette without sacrificing eggs.
Yeah, and it actually brings me on to my next question, because you have such an amazing, inspirational story, and now you're in these big fights. People are starting to find out about it, you know, from working in the mines as a child, and then the journey to get to France. You've always done things the hard way, but looking back, what was the toughest moment in your life, in that journey specifically?
I think that it's really hard to say. I would say early on, just as a kid, you know, when you're facing the war, you're discovering the war in a hard way, and then, you know, as a kid, you're at the point that every kid should be dependent on a parent or on somebody, and then you have to figure those stuff out on your own. I think it was the toughest one. And then after that, when you realize, you understand that, okay, I'm on this by my own, I have to figure this out. Nothing is going to be given to me. You know, I have to work my ass off for every single thing that I want or I need. You know, I think after that, you process that, the rest goes easier. You get less tougher.
And this journey, you went from your home to France to make a career in fighting. It was obviously very tough. It took over a year. Was there any moment where you thought this is too hard, I need to give it up, or was there always something in you that thought I can make it and it will work?
He was always tough. That was a 14-month journey, and what I do remember is that every step was tough. You get like from the first step, you think like you have seen it all, and the next step, you have the same feeling and over. But one thing that I do know for sure is that there wasn't even a plan of going back, of giving up. You know, like he was, for me, he was like my pride that was on the line. You know, and I don't know. I watched a movie that I love so much. And they said, better die for something than live for nothing.
What was the scariest moment you went through in your life and this journey to get to where you are now?
Scariest moment? There's a lot of them.
Any stand out in particular?
Stand out, I don't know, maybe when you were going to put the inflatable boat in the ocean without knowing how to swim. I don't know. Maybe when you were running from a border control that were armed. Maybe when you stand against a giant institution as the UFC. That, I don't know. There's a lot of moments.
We were actually saying off camera that your life it must be portrayed in a film one day, maybe when your career's said and done.
Definitely.
Who would you want to play you if a biopic of yourself was to come out?
I always have one person in mind, potentially Idris Elba.
From England, like us guys.
Yeah.
And he's into martial arts, he's kickboxer,
Yeah,
so
I know.
potentially that's the one. Looking ahead to the future of the fight on Saturday, Renan Ferreira versus Ryan Bader, is that a fight that you're looking at as potentially opponents for your MMA return?
Definitely. That's a potential, my potential opponent for my next opponent for my potential return in MMA will come out of that fight.
Sure. And you've obviously come to boxing to fight these boxers. Do you have any interest in getting some of these guys in the cage, whether it be maybe a mixed rules fight or something like that? Tyson Fury spoke about it before. Is this something that you could potentially push for?
Well, first of all, you have to find out who has the balls to leave his backyard and to go to other one backyard. It's not that easy. It's not a comfort zone. You know, when you step in somebody's backyard, you have to accommodate yourself into everything, and it's very tough. And I'm saying that by experience.
Of course.
It's very challenging.
One man that has helped you on this boxing journey is the great Mike Tyson. Has he spoken to you specifically about the Anthony Joshua fight? Is there anything that he's told you that's stuck out to you?
Honestly, no. We haven't really spoke about that.
And when you went on this whole journey, I mean, I'm sure Mike Tyson probably was an icon of yours and a hero of yours.
Absolutely.
So when you look back now, the fact that he's in your corner, what's that like, looking back?
Well, it's amazing. You know, I mean, you have to look at him as to think of, and to travel back and think of where you were at some point of life and where you were, how you were watching it, and then see how you're there. And I think those are the moments that tells you that, you know, you're making steps, you're moving forward, you're not stuck in the one place.
I'm just going to ask you some quick fire questions now. What's your favourite cheat meal to have when you're not in training camp?
My favorite cheat meal? It's mostly Cameroonian food. I love Cameroonian food.
What's your favourite thing to watch on TV or film?
On TV? Movie? I love movie. I'm a homebody, so I have all my apps, Netflix, Amazon and stuff that I watch my movie on, sit on my couch, and I watch very diverse type of movie. I can watch action movies, I like political, movie like Destined, the Survivor, House of Cards, a TV show like that.
What's your favourite hobby outside of training to do?
Watching TV.
Favourite sports star?
Uh-huh.
Favourite sports person? Who's your
Favorite sport person? My favorite sport person, what would that be? Cristiano Ronaldo or Mbappe? One of those.
And finally, your best memory in life?
My best memory in life is loading.